hoping Rudy would go first, but it came to me. Well, you know, I was just asking somebody this and just found out that I was going to say a few words. And somebody says, well, you should talk from your heart. And so I said, okay, I'll try it. So if you hear anything, let me know. Funny, right? Anyway, one of the things that I've known Mitch all of his life. And it's been I'd just like to say it's been a real pleasure. One of the things, let me give you some highlights of some of the things about Mitch that you may find interesting. One of the, there was an age prior to GPS on your cell phones where you used to get lost and you didn't have maps. And my wife and I found out very early we had a backseat driver. And that backseat driver was Mitch. Now one of the things we really got to rely on was he actually knew where he was going. And so I can't tell you how many times we'd get lost and we'd turn around and say, Mitch, which way is it? Which way should we go? And I'm not kidding you. He would tell us the way to go and we'd find our way out. I don't know what it was, homing pigeon, I don't know what it was. But he had a wonderful skill in being able to find his way around. Amazing. Another thing that I think about Mitch is we've always known that he's been good with his hands. And this is something that has been a real delight to us. So he's become the family Mr. Fix-It. Let's find out. So when I'm ready to throw my hands up in the air and something won't go together and the instructions are in pieces on the floor because of my frustration ripping them up, I'd call Mitch over and say, Mitch, how the heck does this work? And Mitch would just look at it and he'd stare at it for a couple of minutes and then boom, we'd put it together and there'd be no problem. And so it's really interesting looking at that. He's got this mind that allows him to be able to just look at mechanical things and be able to work out how they should be done. And I know he's become a key fixture in his grandpa's woodworking shop, and I see that a new hobby has been born. And I think for those that he makes some beautiful wooden objects already in his young life, so he's a good understudy from his grandpa. I think one of the things looking at Mitch is he's always had a very level head on his shoulders. Been able to think things through and been able to plan how he needs to go ahead. There are times when Mitch does have a bit too much more fun than he should have. Freshman year at college, was it? But he went in with a scholarship and that disappeared after one semester. And then there was a problem of academic probation, do they call it? And so we had to have a father and son talk. I don't know if any of you parents have ever had to have one of these father and son talks. But one of the things that I did challenge Mitch, I said, okay, you've got to go after it. If you want me to help you through school, you've got to go out, earn the money yourself for your next year, go back into school, get good grades, then we'll talk again. And I'll be darned, that kid didn't go out, he earned his money. Went back to school, he got good grades, and now he's really doing well. So, I really, he's a kid who, once he got his head straight, and he knew where he wanted to go, he goes after it. Now, one of the things that you always want as a parent is you want a child to be happy. And I guess this is where Emily comes into the picture. Because one of the things you always want to look at is seeing how, when you've got a son, you don't worry about a lot of things, but you know that they're going to be happy. I've seen them, they've been together for 2 years. I've seen them have talks, one solving problems, working together. And it's given me a great feeling of comfort. Because I know now that when they have trials, they'll work it out, they'll talk. And that's a wonderful thing. And so I know that, seeing Mitch and seeing him smile and beam is a wonderful thing, and I have to thank Emily for helping him learn how to curl his lips up at the side. But I think they're going to be doing great. And so I'd just like to, leave those 3 words with you. And I guess, Mitch, all the best. Emily, all the best going forward. Thank you.
I knew this day would come, and I've been giving this actually some thought. First, I want to say thank you for everybody coming. I want to say thank you to those who supported us and Emily in the kitchen. We have many good friends in church who have helped us. I know there's 2 people that really wanted to be here, and they're both missionaries, serving in Africa, on Mitch's side, Mitch's brother, and Tira serving in Italy, Milan, Italy. And for Tira, it was going to be really hard. Tira and Emily have been so close together for several years since they've been up in BYU, Idaho. And I know it was hard for Tira to not be here for the wedding, but at the same time, she knew Mitch. And she knew if there was anybody good for her sister, it was going to be Mitch. And so I know that though she's far away, we still feel her presence. I'll share with you something else. For those of you who don't know, Emily was our biggest baby. And it was, some of you already know that. But she was a 10-pound, 2-ounce baby. Now, and it was a lot of birth. No cesarean. So, and she stood up right now and you say, well, wow, she should have been more chunky, but she's not. she's the thinnest out of all of them. And Emily's the quiet one out of all of them, too. And Emily's the one that seemed to be the one you had to watch. She'd be the one that might get into trouble. She'd be the one that had problems with grades. She was the one that I won't go on. But fortunately, life changes, and we grow up, and we find love, and we find the person that we want to be with for the rest of our lives. And so in the temple today, she found that, and we, as members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we believe that you can be married for time and all eternity, and they seal that ordinance today in the temple among some really good friends. I'm proud to have Mitch as my new son-in-law. He's already started calling me Dad even before. And I know I can trust him with my daughter. I know that he'll take care of her, and I know that he'll love her. Which brings me to a parable. And it's the parable of the fish. So it's the fish in the middle there. As we were thinking about what to do with this area in the middle here, somebody came up with the idea, let's put a water fountain. And so I went to the church on the internet, finding a water fountain. Both of them. But we tried to look for this water fountain. And we found one. And then my wife called her dad in San Francisco, and he said, I have one in my house for 10 or 15 years that he bought for his wife to put in their garden. Well, it never made it to the garden, but it made it to the garage. So I brought it, we went to pick it up in San Francisco, we brought it here, and we brought it home. And Emily said she really liked it. But Brenda didn't like it because the colors didn't match, and I didn't care for it either. So I was pushing away from that. And when Mitch came last week, and I told him, you can see how it spits out. It spits out really far. So I told Mitch, I don't really like it. I don't think this is going to work. It actually had a little crack in it. Anyway, Mitch says, I can make it work, Dad. He's going to call me Dad. I can make it work. So he comes down here, brings a couple of shovels, shovels around, comes home and says, I can make it work. A couple of nights ago, bring it over here, they dig the hole, he puts it at the angle that it's at, we connect it, and he made it work. And you know why he did that? He did that for Emily. When we have parables, parables teach us lessons. He taught me a lesson. He taught me a lesson that he would do anything for his wife. He showed me love that he had for his wife. I learned another lesson from my father-in-law too, because he bought that for his wife to please her. And now we were able to bring it here, and Mitch made it work. So I know, just by a simple little thing, that Mitch will love his wife for eternity. And I also know that Emily will love her husband for eternity. I'll get off the stage. So thank you very much for coming, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening, and good luck to you.
I'm a little upset with you because you're not supposed to make the DJ get emotional. That's not cool, man. Seriously, no, nice. I want to take a second just to thank the Lopez family and the Murphy family for having me here. I've had some great conversations with Emily and her parents. Had an amazing conversation with Mrs. Murphy. And as I've had a chance to chat with you guys and get to know you guys a little bit, you guys are just phenomenal. I mean, there's just so much love in your families, and it's obvious that there's love between the two of you, and I'm happy to be a part of this day. So thank you for having me. Thank you for having us, my awesome assistant over there.